Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match find. One of the many West Ham United post-match fallout shows on the internet. But this is the one. This is the best one. This is the flagship one, and we are going to be talking about the game that could potentially have put the final nail in the coffin. West Ham 1, Nottingham Forest 2. Lots to talk about in the game, the implications of the result, what happens next. There is a lot to go into. Me and Ryan did a little review afterwards, reaction, but I just think now we've had a lot of time to settle on it, and we've got Scott as well. I don't know, mate. Where do we begin, lads?
Go on, Scott.
Well, do you know what, right? I finally thawed out after watching that last night. It was absolutely freezing.
Oh, yeah, he was in the ground.
Oh, mate, there were so many empty seats there. So many empty seats there. It was crazy. But I think after that second goal in, I think every single hardcore supporter knew that was the final nail in the coffin. I feel robbed, literally. The more I watch the highlights and the decisions back, the more and more I feel that the league's corrupt. The refereeing standards are absolutely diabolical. VAR is a massive joke because it's seeing things that are not there to be seen and giving decisions. And it seems to be us that are on these crazy goalkeeping decisions that are never penalties in the first place. We had it either last season or the season before with Fabianski, going for a ball, catching the player in the face with his fist while trying to punch the ball. He's not looking at the player, he's looking where the ball is. Penalty. VAR are looking for things that are not there. And, mate, it stinks. And as I said, it's just sucked the life out of so many of us. That last night just killed us all. Do you know what I mean? It's a joke. And to be honest, we didn't play that bad. That's the thing.
That sort of sums up, like, we could say that quite a few games, can't we? If you look back at the last 10 games that we haven't won, how many of them we come out and said we haven't actually played that bad? But we don't seem to, when we get in front, we can't seem to hold the lead, or we're conceding silly goals, or decisions are not going against us. I know people might say, oh, you're looking for excuses in that, but facts are facts. I mean, we done a reaction last night, so I reacted on what I see. But after you watch the replays and watch the highlights again, I mean, Areola's got his eyes on the ball. He's going for the ball. Two players running towards each other. They're going to clash. I've seen Forest fans that were tweeting that today, even saying they didn't think it was a penalty. And when you look at the replay as well, Gibbs White's in an offside position. They've not even looked at that.
Exactly.
They've not even looked at it.
And the thing is, right, when you look back at that, right, so the free kick's taken. He's in an offside position when the free kick's took and the ball comes into the box, right? He goes up for it. Souček goes up for it. The goalkeeper goes up to it. I think Souček wins the ball and clears it. Yeah. Souček don't win the ball. The keeper gets there. So how can the goalkeeper in mid-flight see Souček clearing the ball and go, oh, I'm going to put myself on the floor? He can't.
Yeah. I can understand if he's looking at Gibbs White and he's meant to do it, but his eyes are on the ball the whole way. So it's ridiculous. Even like when you look at the decision for our second goal that was given offside. I mean, they reckon now we're going to get an apology off of them. But what's an apology going to do? Apology ain't going to get. They're not going to replay the game, are they? No. Not going to give us anything for it.
But also with that decision, right? From when Somerville put the ball in the back of the net, the ball had gone to KWP, it had gone to Tetty, it had gone into KWP. I think he hit a shot, it ricocheted, then got crossed over to Somerville to score. Right? So it's gone around 4 players. They've gone all the way back to the original pass. So why with the penalty incident didn't they go all the way back to the original ball into the box and pull it offside? Double standards.
I know, mate.
And then, like you said, with the offside, I know I'm like, no, go on, Dan. I'll let you say it because I'm talking too much. I'm doing a Nicky.
No, it's all right, mate. I was just gonna say, it seemed like they just wanted to, VR wanted to insert itself into the game. The offside, the one at the time, I thought he's well offside. But like Ryan said, we was talking in the group chat, sharing clips and stuff. There was the Keith Hackett thing, like you said. But yeah, when you see that it comes off the Forest player and then finds its way to Tatty, that's where you just like they don't even look at that. They're not even looking at that. They just looking at the positioning of Tatty, not looking how the ball get to him. And they've ruled it out. Like we're gonna get into West Ham, but if anyone thinks we're making it, we are gonna slate West Ham and all of that stuff and blame ourselves for this position. But right now, and those you got to call that out. That is, and I feel sorry for Somerville because I celebrated so hard because I was so happy for Somerville that he finally got that goal. It was such a well taken goal, and they just took it away from him for nothing.
Yeah, it's a great finish. And as I said, mate, when you're down the bottom, everything goes against you. And I sort of felt a little bit for Nuno last night because, the starting lineup, I was happy with the starting lineup. Just see something different. We've been seeing the same team week in, week out. Just to see a new name on the team sheet, gives everyone a little bit of a boost. Paqueta coming back. And then, and that's the thing. When you're down the bottom, everything goes against you. And at the moment, I mean, we went from being in a winning position, 2-0, taken away from us. Win that game, we're a point behind. Now we're 7 points. And, look, I said this to Nicky on the phone earlier. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But, look, there's still a lot of points to play for. I don't know how this season's going to end out. I said to him on the phone, I said, if you offered me right now, last game of the season, Leeds at home, we win, we stay up, we lose, we go down, I'll take that right now. From the position we're in now, I'll take that if we had that opportunity. But look,
I wouldn't bet on us, but I'll take it.
No. But I'd love to just release it. I know that we've gone down, as we said last night, with a fight, because at the moment it's not looking good, and there's no leaders out there. We've said it so many times, but
see, it's interesting, like with like you said, there've been so many games. Someone said Leicester survived 7 points adrift, 9 games to go. It's not, to me, it's not just the points. Like 7 points that can change, right? Football, you 1 week get a win, the other team loses, all of a sudden it's back down to 4 points, and then maybe you get another game where you get a point and they lose again, and then it goes to 3, and then it starts to feel more believable. The issue for me is I haven't seen anything in this team to believe that we can go on a run or get the level of points or wins we need to start. We've won 3 games all season, like in 3 games in 20. We've got 18 left, and we need to get a lot more than 3. We might need to. I mean, when you look at it wins wise, 3 is 9 points. Maybe you're looking to double it. You probably have to get 6 wins.
What are we on now? Are we on 13 points?
We're on 14.
14 points, right? So there's 51 points left to play for. On average, you need 40 points to stay up. So we're looking at another 10 wins? Can you see us actually getting 10 wins this season, 30 points?
And this is the thing, right? The ask is you need to win more games in 4 months than West Ham's won in 13.
In 4 years.
13 months. How many games we won in 13 months?
Mate, you're right. 30 is probably, like you said, since a year, probably we have to win more.
Yeah.
It's a big ask. And as I think a lot of people, I haven't got confidence in these players. But I think Nick just said it there in the chat. Nick from Claret and Booze, he said, now the pressure's off a bit, you might see something different. You might.
Is the pressure off?
I don't think the pressure's off, but I think that when teams are, yourself, when teams have been relegated, they usually pick up a bit of form. But we ain't been relegated yet, so we can find that little bit of form. Something needs to give. I know people were saying about the manager. I don't think they're going to sack Nuno, to be honest. I don't see the point of sacking him. I don't see who can come in and change it right now. They've just given Nuno 2 new players that he wanted. So it'll be mad if they sacked him. But yeah, it's.
I'll be honest, mate. If they do sack him before you let Callum Wilson walk out the door.
No.
That's the key thing.
Yeah.
You know, look,
I
I've been
think-
critical of Nuno, and I'm going to carry on being critical of Nuno until I see something different. You know, he's got to win me over, and he's not doing that. And the way he's treated Callum Wilson, the best striker we've had in the football club for God knows how long, a guy that knows the Premier League, knows how to score, has been in scraps before, and you're telling you're fourth choice striker over
And
2
Scott,
years.
Scott, you know exactly what's going to happen. Leeds or Nottingham Forest to pick him up, and he'll start scoring goals for fun for him.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
and this is it. And you know, I said last night, I don't blame last night's defeat on Nuno. Right? I don't blame it. It's not he can't control VAR. Did he shit himself a little bit when we went 1-0 up? Of course he did. You know, and but we still got that second goal, and we deserved that second goal. So I'm not putting all the blame on him, but he is a big part of why we're in this position because of the way he's treated certain players. You know, you got rumours
I'll say
coming out now that players are asking for JWP to come back in the side. You know, it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
I still think we should try and move JWP on if we can with the money he's on, but it'd be weird. Like there's something that's gone on with Ward-Prowse. I think, by the way, Nick's got a spot on here that with football, you never know in football. You just never know. But JWP, yeah, if he's liked or whatever, and he has something, I said I think he should. I would have him on the bench, and I don't see why he's not on the bench. But there's something there. There's some issue that goes back to Nottingham Forest. And there's a reason why he's not anywhere near the squad. So we just need to move him on. Like he's not going to bring him back.
There's obviously a bit of history between the two. Something must have gone on at Forest when he was there. I don't know, but yeah, I feel a bit sorry for James Ward-Prowse because I know he started the season and he was in the team because obviously Potter was manager and he was picking him, and he did get his critics, and rightly so in some games. But you can't tell me now that he wouldn't be worth having on the bench. Someone, you know, and playing around someone like Potts and Magassa as well. You know, you got to think when he was starting the season, he was playing alongside Souček and Rodriguez. I mean, you put him alongside maybe Potts and Magassa, it might be a bit different, or Potts and Fernandez, or Fernandez and Magassa, whatever way he wants to play. But
put legs around him. That's what you got to do. You put legs in there with him. This is what we said. Like you said, right? He was playing alongside Rodriguez. You know, the guy ain't had no legs for 2 years.
I think it's personal, not tactical.
It is personal, and it's the same with Wilson. It's personal. You can't.
I don't think it's personal with Wilson. I don't think it's. I think that's. I don't think it's personal.
What
he still played Wilson.
But what? No, but he played him because he had to, Dan.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if it's personal, Wilson wouldn't even be in the squad. Like I say, you can't compare. You can't say that it's the same.
He ain't got a choice with Wilson because we haven't got no other strikers. As soon as we've got other strikers, he's like, Wilson, yeah, you're fourth choice now. I'm going to play Bowen up front because that works.
Yeah, but he's never had Ward. He's never had Wilson, so why can't it be personal?
As soon as he walked in the door, we were sitting there crying out that Wilson's got to start. Yeah, everyone could see Wilson needed to start games. Everybody could see it. Every other football manager apart from Potter could see it. Yeah. I don't pick him.
I think that when Wilson leaves the football club, I think he will speak out about what's going on.
I hope he does.
It's come out that Nuno doesn't talk to certain players and he's fell out with players in the squad. So he must be one of them. But
yeah. But the thing is, he played 90 minutes in his last game for us. Like he played, and I know we ain't got a striker, but we know and we've seen he can easily play. He'd happy to play Bowen up there. Like he's more than happy to do that.
I just think it's a crazy decision to let him leave the football club.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly. This is and we said this before with the manager with Wilson. Takes him off after 57 minutes when he's on an hat-trick against Bournemouth. Plays him 70 minutes against Liverpool. Plays him 90 minutes against Wolves in games that are not going well for us. You know, you had no Liverpool. We were never going to go at Liverpool. But you're telling he can last that long, but can only play 57 minutes while he's on a hat-trick against Bournemouth, which then eventually costs us some points. And this is the thing. If Nuno gets sacked tomorrow, I ain't going to shed no tears for him or anything like that because he fucking deserves it. Let's be honest, he fully deserves it. Because he is worse than Graham Potter at this precise moment in time. And
I think Rob Green I think Rob Green summed it up perfectly last night, Scott. They put a graphic up of after this same amount of games what Nuno played, what our Premier League managers at, and Nuno was bottom. He was under Avram Grant, and Rob Green said Avram Grant's the worst manager I've ever played for, and Nuno's under him.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
But this is it. Look, everything that's happened now stems from one person and one person only. But this man that is in charge is the man that's got to take responsibility at the minute. You can't. We know the board is the issue. We know that. We know they've put him in place. They didn't go for the right people when they had the opportunity to. Even with this current squad of players that we've got, there are managers that will get something out of them. Yeah, there's no inspiration. When I look at Potter and when I look at Nuno, if you're a player and you see them people on that sideline, do they inspire you? Do they inspire you to go and play well? Do they inspire you to go and do anything? No. This is the madness about it. There's no drive apart from earning your wages, which is a footballer. I sit on a bench and earn my wages, so I don't give a monkeys, and that's half the problem with modern day football around most clubs. Players don't give a monkeys.
We mentioned that the other day. I said back in the old days, players used to play for pay their mortgage off.
Yeah.
Now players haven't got that. I'm not saying every player because there are players out there that I believe do love the game and want to play it for. But there's a lot of players that play it for the wrong reasons. Even now, when you get kids playing football, they want to become a football player because they want to be rich. They don't want to become a football player because they want to win the Premier League and the FA Cup. It's just everything's about money these days, and it's
like you see Ollie Scholes, you see what it means to a player like him, you see what it means to a player like Potts. Young lads who are still learning the game, still trying to develop their talents and develop into first team players. You see what it means to them, but then, like you said, you've got other players there who just don't care. There's the leadership. Where's the leadership?
The thing is, this is it. Like, we was talking about this last night. Is you have the end of Moyes' time, right? Lopetegui, Potter, now Nuno. Like, how many times are we going to look and say, do you know what? The manager needs to motivate these players. Like, when are they going to fucking motivate themselves? When are they just going to go, do you know what? Fuck whatever the manager says. Let's go out here and fucking fight tooth and nail. Let's just play. When are they going to do that?
Yeah.
Crying about managers.
I've said that many a times that players can take it on themselves, and like you know yourself, Scott. When we played football, we weren't obviously this standard, but managers would tell you something. If it's not working, that's when the captain will go against the manager, and I've seen players do that over the years. Yep. And sometimes you have to do it, but when the manager picks the team, he gives the tactics. I get that. But when them players cross that white line, it's down to them. Yep. It's on them.
Yep. And this is the thing. I don't know, because obviously you guys watch it on telly, but you see it, right? Last night. You see how deep we're sitting again. Yeah, we're so deep. That Teddy, he's shutting down players, right? So he'll go, someone else to go with him. Then there's a big gap over the other side because we ain't all gone as a unit. You see Bowen screaming at the side to get up the pitch, to get higher up the pitch. What is the tactics? Is Nuno, we're sitting deep? Or is it, I want you up there, but because we're panicking, we're sitting deep? Do you know what I mean? What is it? Because why is Bowen screaming at people to get up the pitch? You've seen Potts do it, screaming us to get out and get up. You've seen Tadibo do it. But what is the orders? Is the orders to sit deep, or is the orders to get up the pitch? And this is where we're at, because we sit so deep all the time. We can see from set pieces with 11 players in our own box. That's how bad we are at set pieces.
It does seem like what you're saying. To me, it could be what you're saying is that the players sort of shit themselves. And if you look at the games and how we've lost them, obviously Nuno takes blame and he has taken strikers off and all that. But there are times like to score and immediately regress. Like, I don't know if Nuno's going, right, if you score, just fucking get back for dear life and don't ever try and score another one. Or is it the players going, we got this goal, and then shitting themselves now because they've got something to lose?
Yeah, because they're so used to losing that they panic. They shit themselves. They don't know what to do when we're in the lead. Like, you watch other teams, the top teams, they go 1-0 up. They don't sit back. They look for the second, the third, the fourth. We go 1-0 up, and we've done it so much. Look at the Aston Villa game, for instance. 1-0 up, 2-1 up. We shit ourselves, and we end up losing 3-2.
Yeah.
We've done it at Bournemouth, 2-0 up
Yeah.
at Bournemouth. You know, we just can't seem to see out games. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say we're not going to win a game this season, but it's hard to see at the moment where a win is coming from. And you look at our next few fixtures after the FA Cup on Sunday, we've got Tottenham, Sunderland, Chelsea, and I think we've got United and Burnley.
Yeah, is it Burnley?
You know, and two of them teams have just changed their managers.
Yep. Yeah. But the crazy thing is, I don't think there's anyone out there to take over this club that's going to get a reaction out of the players. I really don't.
Not now. Not now, I don't think. But, I mean, we talk about managers that we'd like to see in the football club. One name I mentioned a couple of months ago that I'd given a chance next season. I think we could get him, and I think he'd do well. I'd like to see Craig Bellamy given a chance. I think Craig Bellamy, you know, he's done well at Wales. He's got connections with West Ham. I like his passion for the game. And I'd like to see maybe him, if we're gonna go down, give it to someone like, I mean, they're talking about Michael Carrick and things like that. I'd like to see someone like Craig Bellamy come in.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think the thing is, with Carrick, like the thing I like about Bellamy over a Carrick, right? So Bellamy is more of a new sort of unknown quality. I know Carrick will know the Championship better, but we've seen Carrick try to get Borough up on multiple attempts and fail. You know, like we've seen him fail. Where, you know, Bellamy, like you said, is a little bit more of an unknown. Like you said, he's got that connection with the club. And hasn't failed. You know, he hasn't played a game in the Championship, but I would be more interested and excited by that appointment than a Carrick, personally.
I think,
yeah.
Go on, Scott. Sorry. Right. You know, you do. A Bellamy brings something about him. Do you know what I mean? He's got character. He's got something about him, and I think we need personalities. Do you know what I mean? None of our last three managers haven't had personality. There's no connection with the fans. There's no connection with the players. Bellamy's got a personality. Bellamy's got something about him. You know, you look way back when before Nuno come, and we were saying Mourinho was there, available, right? A defensive-minded manager that knows how to win, that gets the best out of players. I would have preferred to see him at the football club than a Potter and a Nuno. Even with the
Mourinho.
Yeah,
Mourinho.
Yeah, I would have rather him here than what we've got.
100%, mate. 100%, I would have taken him.
That'd have been beautiful chaos, mate. Beautiful chaos.
I guarantee you now we won't be where we are.
No.
We said that at the same time there, Scott.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? This is the thing. That's who we should have took a punt on.
Yeah. I would love to see Jose and Sullivan work as I'd love to see that. Like, could you imagine? Shout out to Forest fans, EV. No, I don't want Daesh. To be honest with you, I don't. I don't know.
Do you know what? Right? We had 4 must-win games, right? And Fulham were there for the taking because they were bloody awful. Brighton weren't great. Wolves were brilliant. Forest yesterday. They're lucky that we're so bad because that's the only reason they're going to stay up. And that's no disrespect to Forest, but they were awful. That first half, they were terrible.
Yeah, I agree. First half, they were poor, but second half, I think they took control. And I think that, you know, when they've got like players like Anderson, Gibbs White on the pitch, you know, that you knew that they was going to get chances. I mean, Hudson-Odoi had that great strike in the first half, hit the crossbar. I can't remember who took the shot now, but it was a great save by Areola in the first half. World-class save that was, by the way. I mean, I see the replay of it on Sky Sports News just before we come on here, and that was a great save, you know, and it's a shame that a save hasn't happened like that in a winning game because it'll probably get talked more about. But but I just look, Forest were bad, we were bad. At the end of the day, they took the 3 points.
It'd be interesting.
That's all that matters in the end, isn't it?
Yeah, if the Forest guy is still here, right? What's his opinion? Does he, if the shoe was on the other foot, would he be screwing like we were with them 2 decisions that led to our goal being disallowed and a penalty being given? I'd like to know what he honestly thinks. and not white.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, because I was talking to him about the game. I haven't seen him mention those this. He's been very. I put us in the thing saying we were robbed in the group chat. I didn't see his reply,
Because
but I would be interested.
Ryan always says it. Right? Ryan always says it. When you disputing a penalty or something like that, how would you feel if it was the other way round? Taking your West Ham hat off, like if we've got awarded it, but taking the Forest hat off, how would they feel if that was their team that were awarded that decision? And then that
they'd be fuming. And the thing is, I've seen Forest fans on social media saying about it, and they're just happy that they've come to East London and they're taking the 3 points back up to Nottingham. They don't care how they got them. You know, they've not won in 4, so them 3 points were massive, and it was a big game because it put the 7-point gap between us and them. You know, what worries me is that, like, I look at the fixtures this season, and apart from like when we played Leeds last game of the season at home, we don't play Forest again. So now it's out of our hands. We have to rely on other teams to do us favours. Yes, we have to win our games, but we're always looking over our shoulders, think, oh, what was their result? What was their result? So now that's a bit like what Nick was saying earlier. Maybe now that sort of it's not in our hands, it might free up. You know, it might take the pressure off some of these players. But do you know what? Last night was the first time after the game that I think it hit the players what position we're in. When you see like Mavropanos sitting on the floor and Tadibo and a few of the other players as well. And I don't think they really knew. I think they looked at it, it was like, oh yeah, we can win. We'll win this game. We'll win this game. Then we don't win. We don't win. We don't win. And then all of a sudden they're thinking, fuck, last night was a massive game. It was, I think it was like Jason Cundy said it on TalkSport last night. It's probably our biggest game since the Conference League final, you know? And we lost. So,
but you are right, mate. You're right in what you're saying. When you see the likes of Tadibo and that dejected, that is how a lot of us felt in the stands. You know, a lot of people walked out after the second goal went in, you know, and I get that. But, you know, the guys that sit around me, and we just all looked at each other and was like, yeah, that's it. We're done. You know, it's done. And you could see that's how them players felt. Like, we had 4 opportunities. Forest gave us 4 opportunities to get above them, and we blew all 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it? Against teams that we could have beat, that were there for the taking.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
if Forest were losing and we was playing City away, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and we didn't pick up any points, you could sort of think, okay, yeah, sort of accept it. But when you're, no disrespect, but when you're playing Fulham, Brighton, Wolves, and Forest, you know, there are games there where you should be picking up points, should be getting wins, but we ain't. And we've had 4 cup. We've got 17 cup finals left now. Mm-hmm. Let's see how many cup finals we can actually turn up for.
Yeah.
At the moment, I've got no confidence.
Yeah, there's no reason to have confidence. You know, confidence would be misplaced. You know, and that's the whole thing I had with Nicky. Like the argument when he said, "I'm so confident." My feeling is like, what are you basing your confidence on? Because not nothing you've seen. It's just this idea that I think we'll do it. Why? Like so, but I hope. It's a difference. I'm not confident, but I hope we can turn it around. People are asking about the AFCON lads. I believe yesterday Wan-Bissaka's out. Yeah, Wan-Bissaka's out. Senegal, they're still in it. So Wan-Bissaka should be back soon. And yeah, Diouf is still in it.
Well, he should be. Wan-Bissaka should be back for the Tottenham game.
Yeah. Yeah,
he won't play in the FA Cup, but I'm not having this. He needs a fucking 3-week rest now. 3 or 4. Yeah. I don't. You know what I mean?
I'm personally fine though if he don't come straight. I think Cole Peters has given him a good account of himself.
No, he needs to go straight back in. He needs to go straight against Spurs. Wan-Bissaka needs to play.
I agree though. Walker Peters hasn't done anything bad. I think him and Scholes have done
well. Never rated him. He's just never rated him.
I think Kyle Walker-Peters has played well, but you saw a lot of times last night when he got forward, he struggled to get back. And that's why he got took off.
Is this true that the attendance was 60k? They said the attendance yesterday was 60.
I think they said it was 61 something, but Yeah.
There was 10 seats behind me that were all on resale that never sold.
I reckon there was probably about 45 there last night, if that.
I'll be honest, mate. I would probably say it was probably 30 odd.
Yeah, that's you'd never want to. They'd always try and, you know,
they do it. They do it on tickets sold.
Yeah.
Right. And
so wait a minute. Hold up. So if I have a ticket, say I'm a season ticket holder, right?
Yep.
And I sell my ticket back to the club, but they don't sell that. Are they still counting that as a ticket sold to me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though I've sold it back and now it's something they've got to sell.
Yeah, because it didn't sell, so you still got that ticket.
It'd be interesting to see if you could see the actual tickets that were scanned in to the ground. Yeah. How many people actually attended?
People saying there 34,000. So basically, it was Upton Park that was there last night.
I do. 34. I don't know how he knows, but 34K apparently scanned in. They include the season ticket. So no matter how many season ticket holders there are, like that are not there, they will count it if you've sold it back to the club, or if you've got it and not turned up. You're there as far as they're concerned. If you're a season ticket holder.
That's how they look at it. That's how it's done.
And they'll just say, "Yes, yeah, that's." I'm telling you what, that QPR game, mate. If you think it was empty yesterday. Maybe because it's a Sunday, you might get a few, but I can't see there being a massive.
You know what? I think you might be surprised because I think they've done have they done kids for £1 and a tenner a ticket, something like that.
They do. I don't get £1, mate.
I think you'll get a lot of people take their kids and things like that. So I think there'll be a decent crowd there. Obviously, QPR are bringing 9,000 of them. So
QPR got 9,000 coming. There's a lot of, like you said, right, a lot of kids and families that don't normally go will go.
Yeah. Scott, one thing I said last night is that result last night could really affect our transfer window because there'll be targets that we might have thought about coming, seen that defeat, and think, I don't fancy that now. So we might lose out on some targets now.
This is the thing, mate, is that now you look at that. If you're, I still say you've got to be looking at players that are on the cusp of getting into the World Cup squads to try and get you out of it. It's going to be a hard sell to get them now. But these are the players you need to be looking at. Players that need to play, players that need to perform to get themselves into the World Cup squads. That's what you got to be looking at. Because you're not going to go out and sign like the lad Creswell. You know, why is he going to come to us when it looks like we're going down? Unless you're going to get him on a 6-month loan deal with an option to buy if we stay up. That's what you're then starting to look at.
That's what I think a lot of our deals are going to be now. Loans with option to buy obviously, if we stay up, I think that a lot of players, a loan deal for players ain't going to hurt them. So they'll come and play football and they've got no ties if they've not signed a 2-3 year deal. They can come and play for the rest of the season and then go back to their parent clubs. But yeah, it's What did you make of Tatty last night?
I like the look of him. He needs a strike partner.
He needs a better touch.
Yeah, but he harasses.
I thought him and Wilson would have been a good team. You know,
Mate, I totally agree. I said this to someone today. If he was up top with Wilson, they would link up really well. He harries defenders, right? He looks all right. He's got quite a bit about him. He gets in the right place. There was an opportunity where Cole Walker-Peters could have cut the ball back to him and it was in open space. He was always hanging around the back post when we had corners in case the ball come out there, like somebody got the flick on and stuff like that. He looks all right. He does look all right.
Yeah.
Even Pablo, when he come on, looked okay. Yeah, well, I'm not quite sure why he brought him on and put him in a 10. When we needed a goal, we should have gone 2 up top.
For me, I'm not going to judge. Like Tatty, I thought worked hard, chasing the ball down. You know, Dan's right. His touch was a bit heavy last night, but he's just been chucked into the Premier League. You know what I mean? He's got to get up to speed, and he will do. But when Pablo come on? No, what's his name? Yeah, it's Pablo, isn't it?
Pablo, yeah.
Yeah, because I called him Pedro last night. Pablo come on. I looked at him and I thought he looked. I don't know if he's. I couldn't work out whether he played well or not, but he's
I know.
He looked a bit lost at first.
He looked shell shocked to be on the pitch.
Yeah.
And like, do you know what? I'm not going to judge them two on their first game. You know, I'm going to give obviously you've got to give them a little bit of time. Hopefully they get a few more minutes on Sunday in the FA Cup.
This is the problem, though, right? Is we've signed players, we're in a relegation dogfight, and we've got to give these two time when we need them to come in and make an instant impact. That's my worry. Is we have to, because you can't, like, as players. I'm not going to say after one game, well, he's shit, he's not good enough, and judge him as this is the finished product. But we kind of need him to be the finished product now.
You need people to come in and hit the ground running straight away. Especially, it's not like we're sitting 8th comfortably in the Premier League and we've got time for these players to gel. But we need them to come in now, and we need them to. But look, Tatty, I was really impressed with him. I liked his work rate. You know, he's got a bit of something about him. He reminded me a bit of Arnautovic, the way he's the look about him, and I think it's the tattoos, and he's going to be like a bastard. You know, someone that we need who's going to put in tackles, and you know, you see him when he's closing down the goalkeeper and the back four. You know, so I think he's got something about him, and hopefully, as I said, it'd be nice if he gets a start on Sunday and scores. You know, to give him a bit of confidence. So
yeah. They need to get them to as much game time in that QPR game as possible.
Sunday. They've both got to start on Sunday. And this is the thing, you know, we can't afford to put a weak side out. You know, we need wins. We need to try and get momentum. And
I don't think we can put a weak side out, can we? You know, we haven't got a big squad. You know, you know what? If he started the kids, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Kante get a start. Myers get a start.
I'm sure the under-21s have got a big game on Monday. I think they've got the next round of the cup. I think for them, so they've got a big game on Monday.
We've got the third round of the biggest cup competition in the world on Sunday.
Oh, I know, mate. I know. Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. We need to try and get some momentum from somewhere, and we all know winning breeds confidence.
I agree.
You could find yourself on an embarrassment defeat to QPR.
Yeah, look, a win on Sunday. I know, like we're the FA Cup. We're sort of all writing it off, but do you know what? A win on Sunday, and it could give the squad a little confidence boost. You know what I mean? Going into that game against this Spurs, innit? We've got next after that, so which is obviously it's a big London derby, and you know we don't want to. Obviously, don't want a heavy defeat in that. We want to go there and give a good game to Spurs. Spurs are not great at home, so, you know, and we play better away. But look, that's a long time off at the moment. Just want to...
Yeah, but it is definitely like you say, like, you know, you go so long without a win, it becomes like this fucking monkey on your back, you know, and it's constantly a thing where you beat QPR, even though it's not necessarily significant in terms of the grand scheme of our season, just to get that feeling of winning again, and get that winning, and then say, okay, we've done it, we've won a game. It just gets that
because we probably won't know how to react. We won't know how to do a show after a win because we haven't spoke about a win for 2 months. We've forgot how to smile.
Mate, I know. You think how many wins we had in the past 12 months? That's what I'm saying. It's mad, isn't it?
It is.
But you know what? If we're gonna go down, let's have an FA Cup with us. Let's do a Wigan.
Yeah. Listen, mate, I'd take that all day long. I'd take that all day long.
I'd have took that at the start of the season, Scott, if you'd have offered me the FA Cup and relegation.
It would be. Do you know what though? Like, it must be weird. You know, winning an FA Cup and staying up, right? Is one of is euphoria, everything like what Palace had. What must that feel like as a fan to win the FA Cup, be relegated? Obviously, you're still buzzing, but there's still got to be a bit of sweetness of it. Of like, this is brilliant, but now, you know.
But the thing is, Dan, right? And we say this all the time. Ask a Wigan fan what they remember, and they remember winning the FA Cup.
Yeah. Same as Portsmouth.
Exactly.
You know.
Problem is, you know what the problem is, though, mate, is, again, if you're Portsmouth, FA Cup, and you think, I remember it, but there's going to be generations that don't remember it and won't ever see their club probably play in the Premier League. Like, it's that instance where...
But the thing is, Dan, as well, right, look, we all like being in the top flight of football, right? But what's the point of being in the Premier League just to make up numbers?
Yeah, but if we're talking about winning the FA Cup, What have you got more chance of? When have you got more chance of winning the FA Cup, in the Premier League or if you're in the Championship or League One?
Yeah,
You're a
you've got more
Premier League
chance of
team.
winning it
Who's
in
the
the Premier League.
last team to win it outside the top division? That record still stands.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it again next season. Eh?
But
This
this is the thing, and we say it all the time. You know, you play football to win. So I'm not doing it. You want to win trophies.
No, but you do play it to win. But that's what I'm saying is, if for most of us, apart from us in 1980, if you're not in the top division, you haven't really got much chance of winning.
No, I totally agree. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. I totally agree with you. You are right. Being in the top flight gives you more of an opportunity to win these trophies. You know, because of the quality of players that you're going to have over the lower divisions. But, you know, it's just one of them. Everyone's got this big thing about being in the Premier League, Look, it's great being in the Premier League. Don't get me wrong. The football shit. But it's great being in the Premier League because, like, you do get to see great players and really good players. But you're just making up the numbers every season. You just get boring sometimes.
Well, like we're obviously moaning about our position at the moment, and we ain't officially relegated. There's still a lot of football to play, 17 games, but there's clubs in the lower leagues who would give anything to be in our position, you know. So
yeah, of course,
it's one of them minutes. I mean, look, if we do go down to the Championship, it is where it is. We're only there because of our own mistakes, and we're shit, and we've been relegated. But we're always going to be, you know, West Ham. We're always going to be a big football club, and if we do go down, got no doubts we will bounce back. Might not be straight away, but we'll always still have the loyal support. We'll always still be attractive as a football club for players to come to. So, yeah. But look, there's a lot of football to play. There's 51 points up for grabs, Scott, and we're going to get 6 of them.
Yeah. It's crazy because I look at it. It's just that it will be interesting because, you know, Leeds and Forest are big clubs, you know, and they went down. It took a long time to come back. You know, we're a big club. I don't care what anyone says. However, you know, we've lost something, you know, when it comes to a home that I think what anyone says is a disadvantage.
The thing is, when you look at the Championship now, you look at the name of the teams in there, most of them have been in the Premier League. You know,
I think
at some point,
there's 4 or 5 that haven't.
Yeah. But they're only newly promoted teams, like from League One and that. So
Bristol City.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams.
Yeah.
You know what makes me laugh? All these Millwall fans that have been going, I can't wait to play you next season. It'll be just their luck that we'll go down and they'll go up.
Do you know what? I think if it looks like we're going down, the FA would try and fix it so they come up so that we don't have to play each other. Because we always miss them in the FA Cup, don't we?
Ideally, I want to be playing them next year in the Premier League if they're going to come up, because we'll still be a Premier League team. But
yeah. I've got a question here from Super Chat here. Harrison Reese. $4.99 Super Chat. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it. I use Nuno in or out. I personally don't think it matters. The squad is so shit. Even Prime Fergie wouldn't get anything going. I agree with you, Harrison. I agree with you, mate. I'm in that camp.
I'm Nuno, whatever. If he's in or out, it don't really bother me. I'm just at that stage now where I agree. I can't see who could come in now. I know there's been a lot of talk about Harry Redknapp. I can't see that. I don't think. Do you know what? As well as I like Harry, you know, but I think Harry coming in would turn a lot of more people away. To be honest, Harry don't need that at his age. He don't need the stress.
What makes anyone think Harry Redknapp would do any good? Honestly, the guy's been out of football for how long?
Yeah, he's been out of football. Harry knows how to put his arm around players, but I don't see it happening. In fact, I don't want it to happen. That's me.
Harry knows how to put his arm around a wad of cash as well. You know, that's the thing with Harry. You know,
maybe you do a bit of wheeling dealing in the transfer windows. Yeah, a bit of wheeling dealing.
Come on, you've then got a chairman who likes a bit of wheeling dealing and a manager. Likes
could you imagine Sullivan and Redknapp together? Oh my God!
Barry Fry's phone would be going off the ringer.
Yeah, I see Redknapp said he'll do it for free, but I'm sure there'll be a massive bonus at the end of it. So there wouldn't be nothing free in this world. But Yeah,
Who
no,
wants it?
I can't see it. I definitely can't see it happening. But look, Nuno is still the manager, so
Listen, you
Bloody
all know my views on Nuno and Nuno at the
yeah.
minute.
And look,
and this is it.
you've had your opinion since day one, and everyone's a right to have their opinions. I've always been. I wasn't keen on Nuno, but when he signed, I thought, yeah, do you know what? Let's just give him a chance. And then first few games, you see a little bit of improvement, but since the Burnley game, when we won back-to-back games against Newcastle and Burnley, it's just been dire, innit? I mean, we've been unlucky in games, as we said, but no win in 10. Any other time, it'd have been sacked.
Yeah. I'll tell you what.
And I said this to Nicky yesterday, right? Watch Burnley back. That game lasted another 5 minutes. We wouldn't have won that game. That's Nuno. Right? This is what I've said all back Brentford, Leeds, way back then. We got lucky against Newcastle because they were poor. We got lucky against Burnley that the game weren't 5 minutes longer. And a lot of this, as I said, there was a comment earlier about you can't keep blaming the managers of players. Totally agree the players have to take up a lot of responsibility, but at the end of the day, the axe falls on the manager. And when you're making the decisions that he's making and costing us points, the axe has to fall on him. And I don't personally think there's anybody else out there that's going to get us out of this mess. So you might as well stick with the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Yeah. Listen, I agree. You know what? If there's something to cheer someone up, it's not a massive consolation, but Spurs are losing 2-1. And Chelsea are losing 1-0 to Fulham after having Cucurella sent off. So they continue to be a joke. So that's just a little silver lining.
New manager in the stands tonight.
I know it's Chelsea related, right? But what do you think about this, that the medical staff dictate to the manager when players have to come off the pitch?
Yeah, that's mental. He
Do you know
tells
what I
them
mean?
how long they can play him for, when they can come off the pitch, if he can play them.
Do you think, right? Do you think that we've got something like that with us, and this is why in certain games players like Wilson has been pulled off at certain times? That the sports.
I think we'd know about it, wouldn't we? I think we'd know about it if we had it.
We didn't know about it in Chelsea till now.
But I think we only knew about it because it became. Well, yeah, you're right. I don't know who revealed. Was it Maresca who brought it out or what?
Yeah. But this is the thing, right? How can you have medical staff dictating to the manager when he can and can't play a player? As we spoke about before, right, weren't it? When we were talking about Wilson and managing his minutes, you talk to the player. Nobody knows the body of a player better than the player himself, and if he's feeling great or feeling.
Do you know what? There's too many people involved in football now. Back in the day, you used to be the manager, the assistant manager, and the fucking bloke that used to run on with a bucket and sponge. Now you've got everyone's got their own team. You've got the managers that's got the assistants. You've got the assistants got the assistants. You've got fucking sports science people. They're just a group. There's too many people involved now in football. Just go back to basics. All this. That's why there's so many things go wrong in football now, and why loads of people lose their jobs. It's like with the new Chelsea manager. Like, it'd be nice to see him succeed. It's nice to see a young English coach get a chance at a top club like Chelsea, but they've given him a 6.5-year deal. They're going to be paying them out millions when they get rid of him in 18 months' time when it ain't working out. Yeah. Why give him a 6.5-year deal? Why not just turn around and say, look, do you know why? Because I think he knows that he's not going to be there long, so he wants to get a nice payoff.
Well, they've already worked for him because they own. Was it Stuttgart? They own that club.
He's at
the
club, the top of the conference. No, Salzburg.
Salzburg, not Stuttgart. That's the thing. Yeah. Salzburg. Yeah, they've been apparently grooming him for a while. He was going to be Maresca's replacement eventually, years down the line. But now, obviously, Maresca fell out of them. They was like, right, let's just get him in early. So they've had their eye on him, and he's been their guy since he's been at their other club, Strasbourg.
They've just appointed Gary O'Neill as well, isn't they? So they like young English coaches in.
Yeah.
in Strasbourg. So he's probably lined up for the Chelsea job after Liam Rossigna.
The crazy thing is that they run on the same model. So that's what it is. He's that model they're running at Strasbourg is a similar model to what they're running at Chelsea. So this is what it is.
And that model, the thing is, on paper, that model sounds great, but it's obviously not a load. It's a load of shit if you want to compete for titles. But what's our model? Our model's fucking. We ain't got a model.
Our models take the same kickoff that we've took since Sam Allardyce was at the football club and expect it to work. That's our model.
Our model's cheap and cheerful on and off the pitch. Fucking cheap training ground, cheap stadium, cheap fucking squad, high wages.
Yeah, we are that. Do you remember the Fairy Liquid advert? And you had the false economy, fair economy, fair economy, and he's got the shit he's using up all the shit washing liquid, a whole bottle of it to wash the dishes. Then with the fairy, he's using up a little bit, and it's going a long way. That's us. We're the economy washing up liquid.
We wouldn't even use washing up liquid, mate. We'd wash our dishes with shower gel or something shit like that.
Yeah.
But look, it's At least we get a distraction in the FA Cup this week. Dan Harris going to go. Don't really care, really. But
Mate, do you know what? In a way, because I did say this when I was on the show with Nick, don't give a shit, whatever. But I guess it will make a nice change of just being able to just sit back and not care and just watch it and go, it don't matter. I have no. If we lose, it's whatever. If we win, then I'm like, oh, that's nice. Okay, that's good. A bit of momentum. I haven't got the normal stress that I have in the league, I think, on Sunday.
There's no stress about it, but I want to win. I don't want to be. I want
to win. I know we didn't want to win, but what we're saying is you can go into the game a little bit more relaxed because the stakes aren't high. We've just lost the first round FA Cup.
Yeah, but the pressure is you don't want to get beat by a lower league side.
No, we don't. But we've been beat by lower league sides. We always it's just us. We do it all the time. I've seen it. We've been up and seen us get beat by lower league sides, mate.
Of course we have.
It's who we are, mate.
Smashed by Oxford.
Yeah, 4-0.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
We know it happens, but you don't want it to happen.
No. That's it. No, you don't want it to happen. But what I'm saying is, it's not a disaster.
Okay. To be fair, though, Scott, we're only 12 places above QPR in the pyramid. So.
Yeah, that's it. How much better than QPR are we, really? To be honest with you,
do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if they won. You know, they're going to have their fans are going to be there. I think they sold out their tickets within a few hours. It's a big game for them. You know, and look, we know what the FA Cup. The upset of the weekend would be West Ham beating QPR. That's the upset of the weekend for me.
Yeah.
But you know what? The thing is, it's going to feel like a QPR home game because you're going to have 9,000 QPR fans travelling to Premier League team West Ham away and feeling up for it, being loud, singing. And then you're going to have 40,000 West Ham fans dejected, silent, passive. It's going to you're just going to be QPR fans, I reckon.
I remember a couple of seasons, it was about 3 or 4 seasons ago now. Do you remember when we played Leeds at home in the FA Cup and they brought 9,000 and they were so loud? And then obviously we played Birmingham as well, didn't we? In the FA Cup there once.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they beat us, didn't they? No, was it Birmingham or West Brom? I can't remember.
Oh, I think it was West Brom that beat us. I'm sure it was West Brom.
Phillips was manager, wasn't he?
Yeah.
For West Brom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
yeah, it was. So yeah, it's we'll see how it goes. It's going to be interesting to see lineups and all sorts of stuff. Oh, Burnley have scored, are they? Have they? Oh God, Burnley are 1-0 up against Man United. If I'm not mistaken, how is it disallowed?
No, it's heaven. No, it's an own goal. Heaven own goal. So
as it stands, we're now 19th in the Premier League.
Yeah. So we're only 11. We're 11 places above QPR now, Scott. Not 12.
Yeah. There you go. I don't know. Taking what's that?
Almost 2-1 against Spurs.
yeah, Bournemouth was a team that was hoping to get dragged into it, and if they do win this, which they probably will, then they're 12 points above us. So
the other team I think gets sucked into it, if either us or Burnley put a big Palace. They're a bit of they're not doing great. Managers going into the season, captains going at the end of the season.
It's an interesting one with their manager because I've seen he's been linked with Man United, and that would be mad if he was to. Because I think for him to get the opportunity to manage a club like Man United, it wouldn't surprise me if he just sort of terminated his contract at Palace and weren't worried about the payoff and just went to United. But that's an interesting one, and as you said, they could lose their captain in the transfer window because I think City are sniffing around him now.
And this is the thing. This is why we need to try and pick up points because there are teams, like I said, Bournemouth not being great, Palace not on great form. There's always teams that get sucked into it. When you look at it last season, us United and Tottenham were just lucky because the three teams below us were absolutely shocking.
Yeah. That's it, mate. That's the situation. Listen, I don't know who's managing Man United for today's game. Who's taking the coaching or
whatever? Darren
Fletcher. Yeah. So it's going to be one of them ones. So by the end of this game, we could be in 19th position, which is just an extra.
United nick that one tonight, 2-1 or 3-2. Come on, United. Do us a favour. But this is what I'm saying. Look, we're waiting for other teams to help us out.
Yeah, you got to look at bloody other games and sit there and hope that they drop points.
That's always the worry when you're relying on so many other people to do you favours.
Yeah, it's out of our hands. That's the problem. It don't matter what we do. We could win every game till now the end of the season. We'd probably stay up if we did that. But what I'm saying is, it's out of our hands because if the teams above us won every game to end the season, then we go down. So you're constantly not just having to win your games, you're hoping that teams, and that's the problem. You want things to be in your hands, and it's not in ours. This is the first time it's really not been in our hands, really in this stage. So we'll see how these games unfold. Apparently Newcastle had a goal ruled out as 0-0 with Leeds. I kind of think Leeds are they're not out of it, but if Palace, we're saying Palace are in it, then they're definitely in it. But they are, what are they, 6-9 points ahead of us. So it's all to play for a lot of teams, mate. It's big. Where was it? I saw Nick. But this I can see happening, right? Don't worry, we'll beat Spurs and we're back. Like, it would be so West Ham, wouldn't it? It would be so.
It would. That would be the West Ham thing in it. To go and beat Spurs and have this revival of some way,
Mate, do you know? I think it would just be nice for the fan base as well because they've been piping up or whatever. How shit we've been, and you go, oh look how shit we are, and we still beat Spurs, and we can just laugh at them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's normally always what happens. No matter how bad things are for us, we can still always laugh at Spurs. So
yeah.
So the case.
Let's bloody hope. Nuno's lost to all of his previous clubs with us, so that's. It's only been two. We ain't played Spurs. It's only two clubs, so it's not a big sample size. Forest and Wolves, so hopefully third time's a charm.
He's got to end that streak one day. But yeah,
we got to win a game one.
Yeah, we were saying the other day about everyone seems to end their droughts against us. Like Wolves didn't win for 20 games and all that. But last night, the commentator said that was the first time since Forest have been promoted that they've won a game after being behind at half time. So that's another thing we've gifted a club.
We are the gift that keeps on giving, mate. We are a charity case.
I'm sure, and this is the most amount of points we've lost from losing positions in like half a season.
Probably.
But from winning
that
positions.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
It sounds about right. It's mental. It is mental, lads. So, hopefully, we start getting some positive transfer updates and a bit of a boost, and we get some business done that can actually have us winning games. Get some bloody defence in. Get defence sorted, mate. That's what we need. But,
Let's cheer ourselves up now and end this stream and go and watch Burnley beat United.
We'll do a post-match pint for that.
I'm watching Traitors at 9. But I can't deal with football tonight. I'm going to watch the Traitors.
Have a bit of a football break.
Yeah, after last night, mate, I need that.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, at the end of this stream, this is going to redirect to Forest Fan TV. So if you do want to go and see Wolfie and see what he's saying about everything about the game and all of that, just go and say hello and say we sent you or whatever. Go and show him some love on there. Great bloke. And he's probably going to bloody slate Forest more than he's probably more. He hates Dyche. So go and check that out. That will redirect you there as soon as this stream ends. So thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to check out OK Jerseys over there, QR code, or check out the website and use code Nicky10 for 10% off. I'm trying to point it, it's like all reversed. 10% off. Yep, there he's pointing. Get your shirts. Get all these classic shirts, Iron Maidens, internationals, flipping lower leagues. Go and maybe see some of the shirts of the teams who might be playing in the championship next season. Check them out. Thank everyone in the comments for watching, and hit the like button and shout out to Nick as well. Obviously, check out, he's probably got some content as well after the game. If you ain't got enough West Ham stuff. So yes, Friday Night Pint is coming up as well. We'll probably be back with something tomorrow. So brilliant stuff, lads. Good therapy session.
Very therapeutic.
So,
I feel like I've been on a nice spa day.
I feel better than I did at the start of this. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I feel a little bit more upbeat, hopeful. I don't know why, but it was good.
I feel better. I feel cleansed, and fuck it, we're going to win the league. We're not mathematically outside.
Oh, win the league! One thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.